Here we have the Assembler from Cre8audio. It's another of their collaborations with Pittsburgh Modular, and very nice it is too. It's a 10-input mixer in a 40HP eurorack format with 6 mono and 2 stereo channels, plus 3 auxiliary sends, 2 with stereo and 1 with a mono return. And just like we've become used to with all the other Cre8audio products, it's a very clever little thing indeed, with a low packed into a small space, but it only takes a few minutes to understand. And its big secret is that there's 20 dB of gain for every channel, which can turn the wimpiest of tones into a real beefcake. Hopefully that intro gave you a really good idea about what this is. It's the Assembler from Cre8audio. It's been released on the same day as their Boom Chick. I've got a separate video showing the Boom Chick in much more detail. I'm just using it here because it's got 5 outputs and we've got 10 inputs on the Assembler. So just a nice way of showing the two things together. And if you look at them, they've got the sort of typical unique Cre8audio knobs and things, so they fit nicely with the rest of the gang. On the right here, I've got the West Pest as well. So yeah, they make a nice little selection, don't they? They're all 40 HP and you can take them out of these enclosures and pop them in eurorack if you fancy. I'm not using it strictly as a eurorack module at the minute because I'm using the line output from the West Pest and I'm using the output from the New Tech, which are both line levels. It's dealing with them and it's dealing with the eurorack output levels of the instruments from the Boom Chick and also the eurorack level outputs from the Eventide and from the Qubit. So I'm just trying to really mix it up and see exactly what it can handle, and it's had absolutely no problems doing that whatsoever. So yeah, we've got 10 channels, 1 to 6 are mono, 7, 8, 9 and 10 are stereo. So you got 8 channels on the desk, you've got 10 inputs, and each of those, or 1 to 6 at least, have got access to at least 2 of the auxiliaries. We've got access to auxiliary 1 through everything, and then you have access to auxiliary 2 or 3 on channels 1 to 6. They're the auxiliary outputs, and we can select 2 or 3 using this button here. Hold that button down and we can see 1 and 6 are going through number 3. And if we play them, let's put them in. There's auxiliary 3, and we can mute that. I was doing all this on the demo. So if we just mute those again for a second. So if we look at what's using the second auxiliary, we've got 2 and 5 are. So 2 and 5 must be coming out of auxiliary 2 or sending to auxiliary 2. So if we listen to those, again, that's what I was doing in that demo. If we hit 2 and 5, they're now going through auxiliary 3. So it's really super simple. For 7, 8, 9 and 10, you've only got 1 auxiliary knob, and you can select auxiliary 1, auxiliary 3 or auxiliary 2. Or is it flashing's 1, off is 2 and on is 3. The little diagram shows you which is which. And the last thing to point out on the differences between the channels is that channels 1 and 2 have got a high and a low EQ as well. So if you've got anything that needs EQing, stick it through 1 or 2. If you've got anything stereo, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Most other things will go through 3 to 6. It's really super simple. And we've got a pan on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, but we don't obviously on the stereo channels. So that's it really. Or so I thought, until I noticed this little button here. And this is a 20 dB gain. So if I play that loop, let's take that out for a second. Now, if I hit the gain, I'm going to give each of these 20 dB gain. Just take this out for now. So that's them with 20 dB gain. And that's without. So the gain does this really nice thing. It gives a little bit of distortion or some sort of overdrive in there, and also compresses things a bit. I'll try and balance the levels in the mix, because at the minute I can hear it at minus 20 dB, so it does sound drastically different. We'll put them in again. Remind me never to use the new tech in a demo again, because if you don't touch it for a while, you've got to keep on unplugging it and plugging it back in, and it's driving me mad. But it was quite useful, I thought, to demo. Okay, reverb on. Let's try that again with the reverb on 5. What's it, 6? So you get off. So that's without the gain. And now with. So that's all there is to demo, I think, really, except for a couple of little points. Obviously, when you've got the gain turned up, you can probably hear that in the background now. There's noise, but there's going to be noise if you've got 10 channels, or I've got 6 channels there with plus 20 dB on them. So it's nothing to worry about, but it is there to note. The other thing I would say is that if you're using it as a mixer, I mean, I'm going to use this all the time, I have to say, because sometimes I'm looking for extra inputs and then I get another interface out and stuff. So this is going to sit around here somewhere and come in really useful. But I have noticed that obviously, because we've got the 3.5mm jack inputs, it's a little bit of a pain if you don't have 3.5mm jack inputs for your other effects units. So stuff that's not eurorack, it's compatible with, it will work with, but you'll have to get yourself a few adapters. So I'm going to be buying myself a few little 6.35 to 3.5 adapters for some of my kit, or the other way around. But yeah, it's a lovely little bit of kit. It sounds great. I love that sort of crunchiness and that distortion and the weird compression that you get from the gain circuitry on it. And yeah, do check it out. Also, do check out my Boom Chick video as well. That's a lovely little drum machine. But I hope you enjoyed that. Do all the stuff. You know how this is funded. Click on affiliate links, subscribe, all the rest of it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And I'm very glad that you stayed to the very end. And I'm not sure what else I can say about it, but it's a nice little mixer. I've got to say, I don't know a load of eurorack mixers. I haven't got an in-depth knowledge of what's out there. But for what I've been using it for, it's great. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.